How to use Usnkrs and bot Nike. In my opinion, Usnkrs is the best Nike bot and probably one of the best bots overall because it is so easy to use. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Bastin. Taught me everything that I know and helped me scale to 4 figures profit a month just from one website in the space of about a month. There are 3 sponsors to this video. First off is Nike by Nazario. This is where I get my Nike accounts from. Second is IC ISPs, where I get my proxies from. There's a discount Usnkrs10 for 10% off. Make sure to use that. And finally, Astro Alerts, which is a cook group, teach you how to resell and also tell you what shoes to buy. This can help a lot when botting Nike because you know what releases to go for, what sizes are best, and most importantly, Nike stock numbers. Links to join all 3 are down below, so make sure you check that out. Nevertheless, let's get straight into this. So if you have bought Usnkrs at this point and you've downloaded it, you will have this piece of software that is on my screen. The first thing that you'll see when you download Usnkrs is the dashboard, which shows you things like statistics. So you can see how many tasks launched and how many tasks checkout ratios. So you can see if your accounts are actually hitting. It will also let you see a bit of upcoming releases and your past purchases, which is not necessarily important to you getting more pairs, but is a cool little feature. Moving on to the calendar, which I think is really, really important. The calendar shows you what is coming up and what is releasing. For example, the Amir Jordan 4s. It also allows you to hover over which size and it will tell you if the stock is high, low, medium, or out of stock. These are not accurate numbers. For accurate numbers, I use Astro Alerts. But this gives you a rough idea. Another amazing feature from Calendar, which is what I use personally, is on the top right hand corner, you can create a task straight from the calendar. So you see the Jordan 4 Amir and you can automatically create your task, which allows you to make sure you're going for the correct product. As there are loads of shoes on the calendar, as you can see here, but when you select plus and create a task, you're making sure you're entering the correct pair. After dashboard is tasks, but we'll come back to that in a bit. Moving swiftly on, we go to proxies. A little bit of an explanation about a proxy. A proxy basically gives you a unique IP address so you don't look like you're trying to buy multiple shoes and it looks like people all over the UK or wherever you're from. All you simply do is add proxies. So I've just pasted in my IC ISPs and as you can see, it will let me check proxies or save without checking. Because I know that IC's proxies work, I'm not going to check them. I'm just going to save without checking. I've obviously blurred them out so you can't see what proxies I'm using. Then my proxies are on the proxy lists. This will tell me what number of proxies I have and the name of that list. The next feature on Usnkrs is Nike accounts. This is arguably one of the most important parts. And this is especially why I get accounts by Nike by Nazario, because I think they're the best accounts and they work for me. So of course you can delete all accounts, but I don't have any accounts to do that. And you can add sneakers accounts. When you select add sneakers accounts, it asks you for a very specific format of how to put them in. As you can see up here, it says email with a little dash and then password. As you can see, I have typed in a fake account, which is not real. It's just a fake email with a fake password. But as you can see, it's antskicks@gmail.com. I've put the dash and then I've put antskicks as the password. That will then let me save it because it's in the correct format. And there I have a saved Nike account. There's also the feature to change all passwords. So if you have multiple passwords and you want to change them all to something and save it as a changed password, you can do that. IMAP details is also another way that you can plug in Nike accounts. I don't use it. I personally use add sneakers accounts. But on the Usnkrs Discord server, when you join, there is a guide on how to use it. Moving on to the next part, which is draw profiles. And this is another very crucial thing, which can save you a lot of time. First off, you can add a profile to an account. And let me show you exactly what that means. You select the little link thing that says add profile. Once you've clicked that, it will give you an option for payment, which is either PayPal or CVV. I personally recommend CVV, which basically just stands for your credit card 3-digit number 123. It also allows you to select an account size. So let's say a US 8. This means that if you enter raffles, you can select profile size, and it means it will enter the size that you have selected just there. Then you can select profile proxy, meaning you can attach a proxy to a profile, meaning every time that profile enters the raffle, it uses the exact same proxy. At the top of draw profiles, there is also unlink all accounts, which will take away what I have just done, and also delete all profile list. Pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into that. But the next 3 are important. Bulk link to CVV, which basically allows you to add multiple accounts at once, as long as they are in the format email-cvv-size-proxy. This can save you a lot of time if you have many accounts. It is very crucial that you do it in the correct format, otherwise it will just not work. So make sure you follow the format above. There is also the exact same thing for bulk link to profiles, which is what I showed you manually, but on a bulk scale. And you can also select add a profile list, where you select your ready accounts and create a list, and they're all assigned under that, so you can have different lists for different accounts, which is a cool little feature in my opinion. Then moving on to Nike filler. This is a very beefy part of Usnkrs. So as again, you can delete all profiles and delete all filler tasks. First thing you can do is add profile. When you select add profile, this will allow you essentially to put in your first name, last name, address, city, all your details and your card. And a little unique feature which I really like is that it will tell you the score. So let me plug some fake details so you can see what I mean. As you can see, I have filled out the profile. Obviously, these are fake details, but as you can see, everything is completely unique. This means this profile is different to any other profiles that I have. That is because it's my only profile. If I was to create another profile and select the exact same details, the profile score will be 0. You want to aim for 100% profile score, which means it is the most unique that you have, and that is better in terms of when you're using Nike. You want to act as different people. You don't want Nike to think you are entering yourself 100 times, because then your entries will just get filtered and you will not win anything. So having 100 profile score is absolutely crucial. Then you just add the profile, and then you can do bulk add profiles, and it asks for the exact same thing where you put the same format of first name dash middle name dash. It's very important you do it in the correct way because it will automatically save. This is an amazing feature if you want to add bulk profiles at once, because you've got many, but it has to be in that format, otherwise it will not work. Then going on, import AYCD profiles. If you have AYCD profiles, you can just import them literally straight through Usnkrs. I personally don't do that, but if you have that, you can do that. Then there's create filler task. So if I create a filler task, I use the Nike account that I plugged in, Usnkrs@gmail.com. Select the profile Usnkrs, which is what I literally just made. Then I select the proxy group that I made earlier on, and I create a filler task. And there I have a task automatically done right here. A filler task basically means I'm selecting profile to account and proxy groups or individual proxies. And it's a good way to get your entries in and start your tasks. There's also stop all, start all, delete all. It's pretty self-explanatory at that point. Then we move on to settings, which gives you a little bit of information about yourself. So what profile and when your license expires. Stop task on a blocked proxy is, I usually leave that on yes. Change nickname, nothing too important there. Export and imports is quite important in my opinion. It allows you to export accounts if you need, or import accounts from other places. Profile stats, proxies, tasks and calendar settings. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can import and export off the Usnkrs device. Webhook settings is also very important. That means when you win or if a task fails, it goes straight to your Discord webhook, and on the Usnkrs server or an Astro server, they can tell you how to do that, as it is a process. Then the Discord success webhook URL and the failed webhook URL, you just plug in the links, which is where that ping goes to. So, for example, pretty much everyone I know has webhook wins from Nike, and that is how you do it through the success wins. And fails is crucial because you can see which account failed, and you can go back and actually look at it, and you can test notifications to make sure it's working. Pretty self-explanatory, that part. Then start all delays. Time to wait between tasks starting in milliseconds. So 3000 milliseconds is 3 seconds. So that means if you start in 3 tasks, there'll be a 3 second gap between each task. 3DS timeout is the amount of time that you want Usnkrs to give you to accept 3DS. 3DS is essentially when virtual banks ask for verification to confirm that it's you trying to make this transaction. And 3DS is very important when it comes to Nike, as when you're running multiple tasks, you will need to accept multiple 3DSs. So that is quite a crucial part. I would say for all 3 of these things, find what works for you. And in the server, you can always ask questions of what delays people are using, and usually they will help you out and give you the correct answer you're looking for. Check out checkpoint timeout, which is an absolute mouthful. Basically means the time Usnkrs waits if your entry hangs. And this is very, very important. You need to find the amount that works for you, but this can be crucial for getting your entries in if they have failed once, which does occur when an entry doesn't go in straight away and you need to retry it. That number is very important. But let's move straight back to tasks. Let's make a task, so you can see exactly what happens when you actually try run Usnkrs. Select create a task. You can select what product, but if you use it from the calendar, as I showed you, that helps. For this example, I'm going to use the Amir Jordan 4s. You can select which country you're entering in and entry type. Preload, which is recommended. We're gonna be using that. I'm gonna select the profile that I made, which was Usnkrs. For size, you can use a size range, use the profile size, which is what I plugged in earlier, or select a specific size. Pretty self-explanatory. Size range basically means if I have 15, 20 tasks, 10 tasks, multiple tasks basically, I can select 3, 4, 5. I can group sizes and it will distribute my entries between those sizes, which is quite cool. But for this example, I'm going to use the profile size that I selected. Then onto proxy, you can either use single proxy, which will allow you to put in the proxy into the task. Use the profile proxy, which is what you put in earlier, the local IP, or the proxy list that you put in, and it will not reuse proxies. As you can see here, I've said no to reuse. Then there's timers. Timers is amazing for if you're not actually at your computer at the time of the drop. So let's say you've got to go to school, college, work, whatever, and you're not there at 8 a.m. You can schedule launches. So this means at 8:01 I will enter. And it is very good for if you're not there, but I wouldn't use it unless I was away from my computer. I have actually never used this because I always seem to be at my computer for a drop, so I can't give too much information on it. But as always, Usnkrs Discord is always active and you can ask any questions and it will be answered. Then you can clear the login time and clear the draw time, which basically just means erase what you've done. Advanced settings, timeout delays, which you put in your settings, but you can change that from default to custom. Same with the typing speed and the number of retries. So if a task fails 10 times, it will just stop. But you can customize that to what you want. And the whole part of Usnkrs and botting is actually finding what works for you and growing on that. Then I just create the task. Once the task is created and I have the task here, I can either click start task, edit the task, duplicate task, or delete the task. And for this sake, we're going to start the task. Once I have started the task, it will open a unique browser, a Chrome browser, and this will automatically log into Nike. However, I do not have an account that is real. This was a fake account. So I'm just going to close the browser, but it would automatically log in and it would automatically do everything. As that is a fake account, I've just stopped the task. However, if you put in a genuine account, the bot will type in the account, log in, go through, put all your details in and enter the raffle that you have selected. There's a few other bits that you can do, like delete all tasks, search for tasks, stop all tasks, which are very self-explanatory. Restart failed tasks, mass change proxies. So if your proxies don't work on the day, you can change to a new group of proxies that will work. Mass change sizes, mass change URL, and start all tasks. It is pretty self-explanatory from there. And to be honest, that is how you run your Usnkrs. There's no two ways about it. It's very much finding what works for you and continuing to do that. But that is pretty much everything. So now I can just delete the task and the task is gone. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you got this far in the video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram at Usnkrs, and I will be sure to answer them all.